of H-500 and PENTOKAN products and be very attentive, because this is the moment in the history that you gonna remember. Please welcome Robert Thiedemann!
We talk about it again in a few minutes. When you use our great products, you ask yourself the question, what is the thinking behind the product? What are the people behind the product? Why are the products the way they are? What is the thinking? This is the first time I speak about these things in public. So for me, it's very personal today. Because we live on the same planet, but we do not live in the same world. And you will discover why. If you think about our great products, or you have a discussion with someone, and there are different opinions about the products, then you have to understand there are different levels of understanding. And depending on what level you think, you come to different conclusions.
Yes.
You come to different results.
Yes.
There is no simple right or wrong. It is a question on what level is my thinking. Let us start very simple. Level 1. Level 1, the surface level. Everybody can see that. The surface level is about the ingredients. You can see the ingredients on the nutrition facts panel. Everybody can see that. The ingredients have benefits. That is why we take the products. Let me start with Coral Calcium. It is our favorite product. I love it. On the surface level, Coral-Mine is about calcium. So, what are simple calcium benefits? Do you know calcium benefits? Raise your hand, somebody, please.
It makes the water alkaline.
It makes water alkaline. We have an expert here. Be careful with this one. I am a friendly person. I give you a warning now. Do not take notes. Do not try to tell other people about what I tell you now. I only give you an idea. I cannot reveal everything. We only have a few minutes. And if you're not able to spend decades with this, do not try to convince other people. So, relax, This is, for me, a very private and personal presentation. This is my world. You can relax now. Just listen to what I say. So, alkalinity, thank you very much. I keep it simple. It's good for the bones. That is what everybody knows. And it is good to normalize blood pressure. Very important these days. Most people have problems on this level. It is good for nerve relaxation. Very important. We have a lot of stress. We are power personalities. So we need good nerve relaxation. In H-500, it is about magnesium. Simple magnesium benefits on this level are: magnesium is good for energy. Magnesium is good to normalize blood pressure. You see the same pattern here. And magnesium is good for sleep. With PENTOKAN, we focus on potassium. Simple potassium benefits on level 1 is good for the heart. Very important. It is good to normalize blood pressure. Again, most important. And you prevent muscle cramps with potassium. So the level 1 understanding is important. It's the foundation because everybody wants to know what is the product good for. But there is a deeper level of understanding. You see, I begin to smile because the more we go, the more we come to my world. So level 2, it's about relationship. Relationship in a product, what is that? We talk about quantities. What is the right amount of an ingredient to achieve a specific effect? If we have more than one ingredient, how much of it in relation to another ingredient? So what are the ingredient ratios? We begin to understand on level 2 that ingredients are team players. And yes, some teams are winners. They turn 1 + 1 into 3. We call this non-linear benefits. So it's not a straight line, but it goes up. Another word is synergies. Synergies meaning the results, the benefits are greater than the sum of the individual ingredients. Increased bioavailability is a good example. Coral Club has a fantastic product called CalMag. Calcium, magnesium in a ratio 3:1 for very specific reasons. In H-500, we use potassium and magnesium in a 1:1 ratio for very specific reasons. Level 2 understanding is important because you want to know, how can I maximize my benefits? But you guessed it, there is a deeper level. And this is the level 3. Let's call it level 3. It's the quality level. Now we enter a new dimension. We talked on level 1 and 2 about quantities. Now we talk about quality. What does that mean? Does that mean we use the best ingredients? Yes, of course we do. But I talk about something else. I talk about the quality level, meaning we are able to program our ingredients to do what we want them to do. How can that be done? Let's take H-500 as an example. H-500 is about energy. It's the energy supplement. Energy in the body is created in a very complex process chain called citric acid cycle. In other countries, it's known as the Krebs cycle, the citrate cycle. In English, it's the citric acid cycle. So, we use magnesium in H-500. Magnesium takes part in very many process chains in the body. So, in H-500, we want the magnesium to focus on this one function, energy. What do? We attach it to citric acid. That is how we program magnesium in H-500 to focus on energy. Now, if programming ingredients sounds strange to you, now we enter level 4. Level 4 thinking. That is when the world becomes a very, very strange place. This is the level of functions. Please, bear with me. It is very abstract, but it is very, very fascinating. We have to think radically different. Not a little bit different, we have to think radically different. Does everybody know the word and the meaning of philosophy? Can I see hands, please? Philosophy? Yes? You know philosophy? Okay. The way I live my life, I can say, this is my life philosophy, or my philosophy of life. The way I spend my money, that's my money philosophy, right? Well, no. Philosophy in its original meaning is not what we think. It is not what we think about something. Philosophy is about how we think about something. Philosophy in its original meaning is a method of thinking. You avoid errors in your thinking if you apply philosophy. You reach valid conclusions independent of what you apply philosophy to. Level 4 is a strange place. How can I put philosophy in a product? Philosophy is about words and thoughts. Is a craft, a mental craft. When we create products, we create them with the best of our knowledge. We create them with very many years of combined experience. We create them with very much testing. Creating, another word is design. Design. What we do is product design. Now, I talk about philosophy, about design. What has that got to do with Coral-Mine, with H-500, and with PENTOKAN? Everything. There's an American high-tech company that is famous for really great product design. Do you have an idea what that high-tech company could be? Apple? That's right, it's Apple. Apple is the most successful company in history. Now look at that. What do you see? You see German design from the 1960s compared with Apple design from the year 2000. Looks very similar. We are talking about design and philosophy now. What you really saw on this picture was not Apple trying to copy old German design. What you saw was the result of Apple applying the design philosophy of the German Bauhaus Art and Design School from the 1920s. Apple still looks fresh, although it is 100 years old. So, Apple is the most successful company in history. What's their secret? We want to know. Their secret is level 4 thinking. Think different is a very famous Apple slogan. And now you begin to understand that think different is not just wordplay. There is a depth of meaning behind the slogan. Apple did not copy German design from the 1960s. Apple applied the Bauhaus design philosophy. Level 4 thinking. So, what is the design philosophy of coral science? How is it expressed in Coral-Mine? How is it expressed in H-500 and PENTOKAN? Let me begin with Coral-Mine. Good question. Who created Coral-Mine? Can you tell me? Hands up. Can somebody tell me?
God created it.
God?
Yeah.
I am a friendly person. I don't want to insult anyone. All I can say is it was not human beings.
Yeah, it's right.
We harvest Coral-Mine. And yes, we are really proud we harvest the best in the world. Let's look at Coral-Mine on the various levels to make it real for you. Coral-Mine is about calcium. Calcium is good for bones. On level 2, we begin to see the team players. Coral calcium has 73 minerals and trace elements in natural harmonic ratios. This means there are natural proportions which add benefits like increased bioavailability. Coral-Mine has an unusually high bioavailability. It has to do with the composition of Coral-Mine. Corals have been building ecosystems for 240 million years. They represent a pattern, a nutritional pattern that our bodies are built on. So our bodies are a very late version of what the corals established. This means we have very similar patterns. And from the similarity in patterns, we cannot say how many functions are programmed into Coral-Mine. We can say we see very unusual results. We are very happy, but we are not able to decode what nature has programmed. So now let us look at Coral-Mine on a level 4, the level of functions. On a level 4, we talk about natural mathematical harmony. On level 4, we do not talk about chemistry anymore. We do not talk about biology anymore. We talk about mathematics. Did you know that mathematics has a very, very close connection to music? The music you heard, was it really music? The most famous composer in history created acoustic mathematics. So what you heard was not really music. It was, let me be careful now, geometrical patterns that encode information that can be described by mathematics. So what is the design philosophy expressed in Coral-Mine on a level 4? It is the same exact design philosophy that made Apple the most successful company in the world. It is the Bauhaus design philosophy, and it is described in 3 simple words: form follows function. You can see the beautiful geometry in the coral. What you really see is encoded information that can be read by our physical bodies, because this represents an early version of us, a very early version. So at Coral Science, we do not think about ingredients when we think about a product. That's strange. We think about the function first. And then we think about what ingredient can perform that function. What ingredients are good team players to do what we want to do? Or which ingredients can we program to do what we want to do? So let's look at H-500 with a different thinking, with a level 4 understanding. The energy that we call life energy is created in tiny structures in a cell called mitochondria. Only recently, science discovered that these mitochondria are not tiny, small biological units creating life energy. They are highly advanced, nanometer-sized hydrogen fuel cells. We are only now entering the hydrogen age in technology. Nature has used the principle for 1.5 billion years. With H-500, we provide mitochondria with the original, perfect, clean fuel that is hydrogen. Every disease, in last analysis, is a disease of the mitochondria. So on a level 4 thinking, we use the ingredients to give extremely advanced hydrogen fuel cells exactly the fuel they need to thrive. We are very proud that we, Coral Club, introduced dietary-free hydrogen to the world.
Yes.
And it was very, very difficult to help people understand what is this H-500 all about. Now you get an idea what the thinking behind the function of H-500 is. Now let's look at the PENTOKAN, which is a new product for Coral Club, but the ideas behind it are not new. These are time-tested ideas, but nobody knows them because they are on a level 4 thinking. On a level 4 thinking, potassium is not good for the heart it does not matter. On a level 4 thinking, potassium is the police, the traffic police, if you will, inside the cell. Every single process in the cell is directly controlled by potassium. There's one problem. Potassium is quickly lost when we have stress. And if we have chronic stress, some cells lose the ability to take up potassium. When potassium is lost, chaos increases. Chaos in the cell translates into mutations. Those cells that lost the ability to take up potassium are in a permanent state of chaos. And they cannot take up potassium anymore. They continue to be troublemakers. Do you know how in medicine tumors in the body are detected? What they do is they give you radioactive sugar, and then they follow where the sugar in the body accumulates. That is where the tumor is. Because the tumor, because of the lack of potassium, can only survive on sugar. So all the sugar goes to the tumor. What we do with PENTOKAN is we understand sugar completely different than normal people. Normal people think about sugar, it's good for you, it's bad for you, it has calories, it is sweet, we love it, but we should not eat it. On a level 4, we think about sugar in a totally different way. Sugar and vitamin C have a very similar geometric structure. And those degenerated, damaged cells, the troublemakers, they love sugar. So we use this level of thinking to attach potassium to vitamin C. The damaged cells believe, oh, this is sugar, and they take it. We create a Trojan horse and shuffle the potassium into the cells. Now, you understand that we think about our products in a radically different way. We see on the nutrition facts label what everyone can see, but we think about it in a completely different way. So there are levels of synergy that cannot easily be described as magnesium helps potassium and calcium absorption. We are on a level that we cannot say these are team players, that potassium is good for the heart, but only if it comes together with magnesium and together with other nutrients, that it is having the systemic effect that we desire. The synergies are on a functional level. They are not found in chemistry or biology anymore. Because you believe, I have a dietary supplement, I take it, this must be chemistry, this must be biology. No. If you look very, very, very deep on the quantum level of reality, our world is a very, very different place. So the deep synergies of Coral-Mine H-500 and PENTOKAN are found on an electromagnetic level. Now we do not talk biology anymore. We do not talk chemistry anymore. Now We talk biophysics. In biophysics, we use resonance and quantum effects. What is that, resonance, quantum effects? An easy example is a tuning fork. You know it. You use a tuning fork to tune your musical instrument. If you take two tuning forks that are identical and you strike one, the other one will give sound in resonance, although you did not strike the other one. This is the level of resonance and quantum physics. It is a ping-pong play of ingredients and products. Think of it like echo. I give a sound, something comes back. It is a give and take. It is harmonic resonance, and it is resonant answer. This is the level that our products really show excellence. This is level 4 thinking applied to dietary supplements. Johann Sebastian Bach took the same principle, applied it to music. Apple applied it to computers. Now, you understand that I live in a very different world.
Yes.
I want you to understand that if you discuss a product, most likely people are not able to think on various levels. Now, to make it practical for you, I want to show you what I do applying these principles. Please understand, it would take a workshop to show you what can be done, how we can use the principles that I described and bring it in practical application. So today, because we do not have very much time, I show you how I use quantum physics at home every day, and you can do that too. I start in the evening. I take the best water I can get. I always use glass. I prefer a lid, a screw lid, so I can close the bottle very tightly. What I do in the evening with my bottles is I put one sachet of Coral-Mine in one bottle. Then I open one capsule H-500, put it in that bottle. Next, very important, fill the bottle to the top. Then I close the lid very tightly. That's important. What happens during the night is an activation process. This activation process happens on an electromagnetic level. It happens on a photon level. It happens on a resonant level. If you will, let me be poetic, please. We start music, a night serenade. What happens is H-500 is all about energy. The corals come from the ocean. All life comes from the ocean. With H-500, we recreate the energetic state in the water that the coral originally was. All signal transfer in our body is electric. It's not about chemistry.
Yes.
It's not about biology anymore. It is about electricity. We recreate the original medium that we all come from. Our bodies respond to the electricity in a very positive way. That means the bioavailability, the programming, everything is much more powerful if the level of energy is exactly the same it was when the coral was still in the ocean. The coral gives alkalinity, that is correct, that is chemistry. But what the coral does on a level 4 thinking is it restructures the water so it resembles the qualities of intracellular water. Intracellular water has an electric value like a battery, and you can measure it. That is why I like to give my water time overnight to do the process and to go through various levels of transformation. I use this water to dissolve PENTOKAN in. I love to drink that water with PENTOKAN first thing in the morning because my body has very low blood sugar in the morning. Do you remember the cells that love sugar? They are craving sugar in the morning. So if I take a PENTOKAN in the morning on empty stomach, what happens? They eat the vitamin C Trojan horses that shuttle potassium into damaged cells. This is how I keep myself healthy in an environment that is very, very unfriendly. We are exposed to all kinds of very serious influences: electromagnetic, magnetic, electric, chemical, everything under the sun. What we need as a biological system is a level 4 reset every day. And now you have a better understanding of the power of level 4 thinking in Coral Club products. Thank you very much.